Ram 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 Sarvebhyaha. Welcome to learn to chant Sriman-Narayaneeyam, class 108. Gurureva gatir gurumeva bhaje, gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave, na guroh paramam shishurasmi guroho, matirasti gurau mama pahi guro, Shrikanto matulo yasya janani sarvamangala, Janaka Shankaro devaha, tam vande kunjarananam, पीताम्बरं करविराजितशङ्खचक्रकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधा सहायमतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशमनिशं हृदि भावयामि. We have been seeing pronunciations from the last few classes. We shall quickly finish within 20 to 30 minutes. We shall finish the remaining aspects of the pronunciation. We have about 3 or 4 aspects remaining. We'll finish that. And then if there are any questions, please note it down or type in the chat. We shall take it at the end, or if there is some time, if I finish it more quicker, then we shall take some questions in between, and then we shall see some new shlokas today. 3 or 4 shlokas of the 61st dashakam we will be learning today. So we shall start with so the new shlokas will start around 8:30. So last class we started off with Guditaksharas. Guditaksharas are very simple. It just means Vyanjana plus Swara. That is if you see it everywhere. If you say Gu, it is Ga plus U, and Ma is M plus A. So everything is a Gunitakshara, where you take a consonant and next to it is a vowel. So that is what is a Gunitakshara. This is what we are taught when we primarily learn Sanskrit or the Devanagari script or any Indian script. Usually, the Guditaksharas are very common. That is, there is a swara, then the way we write it along with the Vyanjana changes. So that is either what we call as the leg, kala, or ikara, ikara, u, below. So each language has its own different symbols for putting a, e, u, au, and all along with the consonants. So these are what are Guditaksharas. So as I said, we cannot separately pronounce any consonant. Only along with a swara, along with a vowel, a consonant can be pronounced. So that is why when we add that vowel and a consonant, we call it a Gunitakshara. So these are all just depictions. These are all like primary class, first standard, second standard. When we learn or when we start learning any script, this is what we learn. These are the symbols we learn. So K plus A is Ka, K plus E is Ki, K plus U is Ku, K plus R is Kr, and so on. So this is how we are pronounced and this is how they are written. This is quite simple. K plus is kam, K plus aha is kaha. Same way, K plus im can be kim, K plus ihi can be kihi, and so on. So all these are, if you not read Devanagari, if you not read any script, these are given. The idea is these are what are called as Gunitakshara. That is what we have to learn here. When you add a consonant and a vowel, they are called as Gunitakshara. So if you see here, this is clear. For each letter, there is an example, a word example. We'll just see for Kr and Kr. This is the 3 letters below. This is where a lot of confusion happens. Kr is not Kru. It is not Kri. It is not something else. R is a swara by itself. Rikara. A, I, U, R is for Rishi, he. Rinam. All the Rikara is a swara. It's a vowel. So you should not say Krunam, Kru or Kri or anything. Kru is separate. You cannot write as Ra with Ikara. You cannot write with Ru with Ukara. It is not like that. That is not how it is pronounced. Kru is Kru. Dirgha of Kru is Kru. Like we had examples. Pitrun, Kliptaha. Here Kru Karaha is given. Then same way, L, the swara L is Kliptaha is the word given here. So that is a swara, not a Vyanjana. We have to be very clear. So the way it is written is very close to La, but it is not La. So those 3, it is not usually used very much in other languages, so we have to be careful over here. Though they exist, R exists in many other languages, we don't use it very often, apart from the Sanskrit words itself. So just to give an example here, Matra cha netra salilastrita gatra valya. The salilastrita is there. Salilastrita astrita. You should not say astrita, astruta. U or E should not come. That is not, even in English, when the transliteration is there, it is not translated as RI or RU. Nowadays, many people, when they keep names, Kripa or names like that, they are write KRUPA or KRIPA. There is no other way to write it in English. But if you see the transliteration in the Narayaneeyam scripts, it will be an R with a dot, because it is not RU or RI. It is R. It is a different by pronunciation, by listing is how you learn it. Pitru ityadi matara pitru pramukhaiistadanim stotrun munin shishirayan navate rithatvam. So if there is R, there is a dirgha R also. Santarpyatha samanta panchakamaha raktakradauge pitrun. Pitrun is an oft used word, either in Shraddhas or many other karma. We use the word pitrun. So R and R is important. We have to understand this, that they are not they are not the rakara, they are not repha. That is the main thing to take out of Gudita-akshara, because everything else we usually know. Next is Samyukta aksharas. Samyukta is where a Vyanjana joins with a Vyanjana. One consonant is joined with other consonant. It is not a consonant followed by a vowel. Many consonants come together, then they are followed by a vowel at the end, or they are followed by a vowel before. So we have just split the Samyukta aksharas into different types here, just for ease of understanding, proper writing and proper pronunciation. Nothing else. There is in Shastras there is no such differentiation or splitting of Samyukta aksharas. You will see the types. This is not there in any previous Shastra. It's just for the simplification here. We split these into 5 different types. Today we will see pronunciation for about half an hour, and then we will continue with shlokas from about 8:30. So for first type of Samyukta aksharas is where we have consonant is written in half, followed by a full letter of the next. So all these is this is the most common type, to say so. If you have Sankhya, for example, the first word, you have Ka is half, and then Ya is full. Ka is written in half, Ya is written in full. Sankhya. The word Amba, Ma is written in half, Ba is written in full. Amba. Shayya, Shulkam, all these words, many are familiar words, very similar. Jya, Tpa, Tva, all these are the first letter, whatever is pronounced in half is written only half, the other is written in full, because it is pronounced fully. That's how it is written. So this is the first type of Samyukta akshara. Pucham, Sapta, Shashtihi, all these are examples for the first type of Samyukta akshara. Type 2 is where the second consonant is written below the first consonant. So the first consonant is the half consonant. Always first consonant means the one we pronounce halfway. Second is what we pronounce fully. For example, Vignaha. If you see on the right here, first example, Vignaha. The Gha is almost written fully with the Nakara below it. So Panjaram, Pancha, Khadgaha. So all these are written like this, where you have the letter on top and letter below, Angam. Okay, so this is the second type of consonant. This is also very clear. All these by practice, when we see the script, we get to know it. Theoretically, when we read something, it is this is what we do. We split it into parts, we make sections, and we understand it better. So these are types of this thing. So third type is, so second consonant is placed differently. That is, it does not have a correct position for each letter, depending on how it is written. It's kind of irregular with respect to the first standard. Its shape might also change. It's not exactly in the same way. For example, Vriddha, when we write it somewhat below and then just put it like that. We don't write the whole dha below. We just write half the dha and then put this thing. Da with dha, Vriddha. Dve, when we say da with vakara, the va just comes below, one round below comes. So it is not the full shape of vakara. Vakyam, jihva, ahladaha, and so on. Mainly with hakara, this na is written in between, rakara is written in between, and so on. So all that is there for the third type. A slight modification of symbols, but it pretty much remains like that. Fourth is where you have repa. Repa is rakara. Rakara is always unique. as we saw in the previous aspect also. So if the rakara comes first, then it's always a arka on top. Arka means just that small this thing on top, like vargaha, gardabhaha. The rakara is pronounced in full, but it still is just small symbol above. The next letter is fully below. So sorry, rakara is pronounced in half only. Vargaha, ra is put on top, and then the ga is pronounced in full. Vargaha. Ardhaha, ra is pronounced in half. Dhakara pronounced in full. So we don't write the ra and then put a dha below, or write ra half and put it next to. That is not how it is written. Ra is on top. If the repa is the second lakshara, if rakara is in full, then like ugraha, ga is half, ra is full. So ugraha, ga is written fully and then one line below. So only for repa this is different. If it is first letter, then there's a arka on top. The second letter there's a stroke below. So ushtraha, gridraha, and so on. Right? The fifth type is where we have a completely new symbol for oft used samyuktaksharas. In Hindi, when we used to learn Yara Lava Shasha Saha and then Kshatrajna. Those are also part of the consonant only. Kshatrajna are not new letters or anything. Those are combinations of letters which are called samyuktaksharas. But they have completely different symbols. As you can see here, Virkshaha. Though Ka and Shanmukhasha together make Ksha, we have a completely different symbol that represents that. A totally different way of writing it, Vrikshaha. Same thing for Jnanam. We have Ja with Nya. You could have written as Ja and then Nya and so on. But we have a new symbol because it is very often used. Similarly for Ta with Ta, usually the first Ta mean many times there's just a line for the extra Ta, like Uttaram. If you can see the fourth word here, Uttaram, just one line, Uttaram. Yatra, Tra also same thing. Ta with Tra, we put one V shape, one horizontal V is put like this with this thing. So Yatra and so on. It's a completely different symbol. Uddeshaha, Vaidyaha, Shramaha, Sha also, Ashvaha, and so on. So all these have kind of a new symbol. Some special symbols are pronounced. So these are the 5 different ways of representing samyuktaksharas. What is samyuktakshara? Just 2 consonants coming together next to each other is a samyuktakshara. Nothing more, nothing very complicated or anything. So all these we can just you can just have a read of this word on the right side. These presentations will anyway be available to you, and you can see it on the video also. So you can read these words and see where that samyuktakshara is coming, how it is changing, and so on. Shamasva, Karagre, Jvalantam, Sharadambhoja, all this. So these are there. If there are any doubts in either Gunitaksharas or Samyuktaksharas, you can raise your hand very quickly. I don't think these are not any deep concepts or anything like the first ones we had. Quite simple. So, Ashish and Shobha. Ashish, you have something to say?
So, Guruji, how to pronounce Jya? Ram. How to pronounce Jya and this?
That is coming. Jya is coming. The Jya is coming. Yes.
And second, this Sanskrit Ka and Shanmukha Shra. Cha.
Yeah. Ksha. Yes.
So this Sa Shanmukha Shra sound is getting replaced by a sound of Cha.
No. Like there's no Cha. Ksha is Ksha. It is no replacement happens. Just Ka with Shanmukha Sha only. Ksha only. That's how you have to say it. Sha only. If you're saying Cha sound or if somebody is saying the Cha sound, it is wrong. There's no Cha sound there.
Sound is Shanmukha Shra only.
Yeah, only Shanmukha Shra.
Okay. Dhanyavad.
Shobha and then S.R. Valluri. Shobha, you have anything to say, or S.R. Valluri? Yes.
Namaskaram, sir. This kta, the way it is written is something, I don't understand that. Kta, ka and ta and
the first one, suktam, you say.
Kta.
See, all
actually,
these also in some fonts they are written differently. If we write kta, we can write half ka and then ta also we can follow
that
it
we
like
don't
that.
write, you know,
It's not an issue.
but they write differently, you know.
So in some fonts nowadays, computer fonts are generated, different fonts coming about. So some of them represented differently. So we have to know all these representations. There is no, you can, while writing with your handwriting, you can write it whichever way suits you. But you have to know these representations so that you read them correctly.
Thank you, sir. Namaskaram. Thank you. Dhanyawada.
Namaste. Venkateshwaran and then Jyotishan.
Sir, Namaskaram. Sir, there 33 consonants
Namaste.
are there. There are 33 consonants.
Yes.
Mutually, if you combine 33, how many total Samyukta Aksharanis will be there? 900? See, 33
that you
into
can
32.
do from there, you can say 33 to 33. So you can get any, see, Samyukta Aksharas, so not only 2 letters, you can have continuous Samyukta Aksharas. I can tell you one of the best words for Samyukta Aksharas I know is, I wanted to give this example later, is Karsnyam. Karsnyam is a word. Ka, then Akara.
2, 3.
Then you have, not 2, 3. There are 5 here. I will just show you. 5 consonants together.
How to pronounce them separately, clearly each one?
Yes. So clearly you can pronounce each one. So this is one of the words like that where you can pronounce each one clearly. So that is the beauty. If you say the word Karsnyam, just listen to me pronouncing Karsnyam. So there is Rakara, then there is Ta, then there is Sa, there is Na, and there is Ya. Okay, for this Ya, that is a Repa. So if you see here, it is Ra plus Ta plus Sa plus Na plus Ya. Ra, Ta, Sa, Na, Ya. 5 letters. Karsnyam. And each one will be separately heard. It is possible. So Samyukta Akshara does not mean just 2 consonants. It means multiple consonants, but it is
what is the meaning of this
consonants are together without any swara. Kartsya means everything in total. It comes in Gita, the Kritsna. In many places it uses Kritsna, but many other places you can, the word Kartsnyam exists. One of the best examples for multi-samyukta. That's all. Jyotishanai?
Ram Guruji.
Ram.
Yeah, I'm asking one question. This in English, we have 5 vowels, right? Now in Sanskrit, there is a raswa and dirgha for e, and u. So those, both the raswa and dirgha also are considered as vowels?
Yeah. That's why we get 13 vowels. A are different. E different. U different.
So okay, so that means there are 13 of them, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Guruji.
So you can read these words, you can see the slide and read these. But anyway, as we are learning Narayaneeyam, all this is just for practice. Where you read Narayaneeyam, all these will, your tongue will automatically roll. So this is an example. Just for here, for now, that person asked Jya. So some places where people usually make mistakes. So Jyoti is there, as her name who asked the question now is Jyoti. We usually say, many people say Jyoti. It is not Jyoti. It is not Ja with O. It is Jyoti. That Yakara should be cleanly heard. Jyoti means lamp, light, and so on. That Yakara should be very nicely heard. It is not Jothi. It is Jyo, to say it in English. Ja, Ya, O. Jyoti. Paramajyotif prakashatmake bhavachakra jyotishkanalavanipaatena vidhute. If these words are tougher to pronounce, you should give it some pause. For example, while saying it very fast, you may say Jyoti. But when you have to say it slow and you have to pronounce it properly, you have to give it that time. Jyoti. If you say it and practice, it will automatically come. It's not very difficult. Due to practice, we miss out on such pronunciations. And the one more is Dria. A lot of people say Dra. without the yakara, because the yakara sometimes it just doesn't come. Daridriyam is a word which is well known, means poverty, something like that. Daridriya, daridra, they will say. Daridriya is the word. Both are there. Daridra is also there. Daridriya, when we say that driya, yakara should come. It should be well heard. So each letter that is there should be well heard. That is the whole point. In Sanskrit, there is no silent letters or anything. You don't miss anything. So it should be well heard. The other one is, we have seen this. This is a different example, but even in Narayaneeyam while teaching, I think it came in one or two places. I couldn't find that example, so I used something else. Tvam yejur riksama kamagamastam vashatkaraha. So ra with r. Rakara is a consonant with r, which is a vowel. It's difficult to say because both have very similar pronunciation. Tvam yejur riksama. Yejuriksama, ra with r, yejuriksama. That's how it is said. We have to say it like that. This is there in Narayan, I think in 13, 14 Dashakam somewhere, but I couldn't find it right away. If you know where that shloka is, I can tell that shloka. So there I have spent some time. Amogha was the one who repeated it, I think. So we have spent some time on how to exactly pronounce this rightly. Ra with r. So both the ways of writing this is fine. On top, yejuriksama, below nairritim we have written. Ra with r, ra sarkavatu with r fully. Both are fine ways of writing it. And commonly misspelled letters are cha. Cha is usually pronounced as cha with the sakara. It should be sha. Shankara sha with chakara. For example, this line. Saundaryottaratopi sundarataram twadrupam ascharyato-pyascharyam. Shakara with chakara. Ascharya, when we say it's not ascharya, ascharya. Ascharyato-pyascharyam. Taraganascha shamanashadamstra. Shakara should be well heard. It should not become as sa, which a lot of people do. So these are generally mispronounced words we are just seeing here. Other one is these things like Rahave Ketave Namaha is there in the shloka. Namasurya Somaya Mangalaya Chandraya Guru Shukra Shanibhyascha Rahave Ketave Namaha. Many people say Rahuve Ketuve because the word, the Graha name is Rahu and Ketu. But when we say it in Namaha and this in Chaturthi Vibhakti, it should become Rahave, not Rahuve Ketuve. It should be Rahave Ketave Namaha. Similarly with Gurave, we saw in the first class itself. Many people say Guruve Namaha. Guru in Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu. It's not Guruve Namaha. Gurave Namaha. Same thing here. So these are oft mispronounced, which we have to be very careful. Once we have learned some shlokas, we have learned a little bit of Sanskrita, we have to be careful with reading the shlokas. Any new shloka that you may take up, you might want to do Parayanam, you have to be careful while reading. That is what is the whole takeaway out of all these classes. You have to stick to the text and be very careful in pronunciation. Same thing. This was same. Gurave Namaha. Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, that Rakara. So it is not Guruve, it is Gurave. Many people say Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva. It is Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Deva. Then it should not become Gurur Sakshat. It is Guru Sakshat. Because there were Rakara, it should not become Rakara here also. It is Guru Sakshat Param Brahma. These are examples. And this is one of the last examples. Shra, Shri, Shru, and all these. The first shloka is from Bhagavad Gita. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritaha, 15th chapter. Many people tell it before eating also. So that is the word Dehamashritaha. Ashritaha is the word. So there Ikara is there. E should come. So the word is Sha, Ra, and E. Ashritaha should come. Second shloka, if you see, it is Rishya Shringaya. There it is not Shri. It is Shringaya. Deham Ashritaha should not become Shri. Rishya Shringaya should not become Shri. Rishya Shringaya you should not say. Deham Ashritaha you should not say. Deham Ashritaha. Those are many people in ashritaha and mainly words like that, they become, Shri becomes Shri. So that has to be, you have to be very careful. And the last shloka, which is from Durga Sapta Shloki, Tvam ashritanam na vipannaranam tvam ashrita hyashrayatam prayanti. So the first two are Shri and Shri, those highlighted letters. The last is only Shra. Okay, so it's not become Shru, Shri. But these are again some things we have to be careful about. The last aspect is about wrong splitting, where we split some things wrongly. These are all usual shlokas. What happens is, because of the raga, because of the way we have been taught, where we have learned it in childhood, we don't know the splittings or where the words split. So for example, the first shloka, Naumi Shastreshu Nishnatam Chandrasekhara Bharati. This is a shloka on Chandrasekhara Bharati, Jagadguru of Sringeri. Many people say Chandrasekhara Bharati. The Chandrashe has no meaning. Khara will mean donkey, but that is not what the meaning we want. We want Chandrasekhara Bharati is the right split. So you should not say Chandrasekhara Bharati. You should not split it like that. That's why sometimes in the dissertation, when some panelists they do a mistake in the raga, I said don't take the raga up there because it sounds like a wrong split in the word. Okay, you want to have the right split. You want to stop it, even though it is in the same raga. You're saying it continuously. For a person who is listening it might seem like the word is split in the wrong place. That should not happen. The right side one is a very Vishnu Sahasranama shloka. Aprameyo Hrishikesha Padmanabho Maraprabhu. A lot of people take a pause at Padmanabho and then say Maraprabhu. Maraprabhu has no meaning. The word is Amaraprabhu is the name of Vishnu. So if you say Padmanabho, Maraprabhu, Mara in South India means tree. We are not calling tree. It is Amaraprabhu. So you have to say it together. You have to say Padmanabho, Amaraprabhu without any increase or decrease in tone there, so that it doesn't sound like two words. Sarva Vigno Pashantaye. Doesn't make sense. Sarva Vigno Pashantaye. You should not give unwanted pauses in those places. Nirbhayatvamarogata is a buddhirbalam yashodhairyam nirbhayatvamarogata. These are words. You should not say nirbhayatvama rogata. There is no point in saying nirbhayatvama rogata. Rogata would mean somebody who have roga, but what you want is arogata. It is nirbhayatvam arogata. So you should say it together. You should say nirbhayatvam arogata. So you should not make it rogata. You make it rogata, you'll be you want diseases instead of being undeceased. So these are again some of the things. So that is the last aspect. Is before this last aspect, I will take some questions. Let us see. Last aspect. Before that, if anybody has questions, if you don't have questions, please put your hand down. Geeta, Kalyani, Geeta and then Kalyani. Ram Ram.
Ram Ram. Ram Guruji.
Ram.
This is Kalyani.
Yes.
Should I continue or some other one is speaking? No?
Tell me.
Okay. Thank you, Dhanyavad. I have two doubts. One is related to this class, and one is not related to this pronunciation. The first doubt is you have taught us now to pronounce certain words now. So yes. How to pronounce and how to write jnanam? Is it jnanam or jnanam?
It is jnanam. Jnanam is ja with nya. It is there in the second pronunciation class. You can go there and see.
Da with nyama.
Ja with nya.
Ja with nya.
Ja with nya. Jnanam.
Could you please write that?
Yeah, I'll write it here. Ja with some wrong. So that is also again often mispronounced. Probably we should put that also. Many people say gnanam. Actually, in Karnataka, a lot of people think it is Garna. It is not Garna. It is Ja. It is Ja.
Both Ja and Nya should be heard and be pronounced, right?
Yes, correct. Both ja and nya should be heard. These two, ja and nya. Jnanam, jnanam. There is no ga, there is no na, there is no anything else. It is ja and nya.
I'm right. Jnanam. Jnanam.
Yes, jnanam.
Shivaji. Second doubt is, one day while teaching Narayaneeyam in one of the classes, Ji has mentioned there is no la in Sanskrit, only la.
Yes.
So wherever la is written in the Sanskrit, can I say la only? Though I have a Tamil script, sometimes they have mentioned there la or something else, but I need to pronounce only la.
There is no second la. There is no that la like South Indian language. We do not have it in Sanskrit.
Only la. Wherever it is written, we need to pronounce it as la. Merely.
Correct.
Okay. Dhanyavad ji. Thank you very much.
Yes. Geeta ji.
Ram Guruji.
Yeah.
Two things. One is the Rikara example that I think you were mentioning is in Dashakam 20. Rishabha Yogeshwara Charitam, third one. Nabhipriyayam athameru devyam.
Tomam shato bhur rishabhavidhana. Correct. Tomam shato bhur rishabhavidhana. Correct.
Because you mentioned Amoga, I still remember that session. That was one thing. And the second thing, with reference to the Visarga preceding the Samyukta Akshara, where we have to fully tell the Visarga, you were telling me.
That is only for Shakara, nothing else. No other Samyukta Akshara.
Shakara. So that time when we tell during the singing or the chanting form, somewhere it gets that break comes. No? So how do we maintain
break will come, so we have to give a break. If the Kriti, if the Bhagya, if it is a music, if it is actual music, then for sure, mostly they in music.
Especially Gavaschaivam Labdha Jivaha Kshanena. Tatra.
Gavaschaivam Labdha Jivaha Kshanena. That's how you have to say. I told you the other day, the aesthetic will be lost. It is, but you have to say it that way. Like even while saying Vishnu Sahasranama very fast, you will Udbhava Kshobhano Deva. No. Udbhava Kshobhano Deva.
Kshobhano Deva Shri Garbha Parameshwara. Okay. So we have to stop there. No other.
The break. Yes, there's no other go.
Okay. Dhanyavada.
M and then Krishnan. Krishnan dot.
Hello, Ram. I have one question on the Dashakam 44, the second slokam. Manayan mum yaminam. There, when you were combining it, you were pronouncing it differently. I'm not able to get that.
So that did you attend second class of the pronunciation, like 2 classes back?
Yeah, I attended.
And that detailed I have explained there, the Anunasika, Yakara, Lakara and Vakara. So that is a Manayan, that Manayan Yaminam, it is not there. There's something else. That cannot be the word. Something else. But Anunasika Ya is there. And you can listen to the recording of 42nd Dashakam. Whatever it is, however I pronounce it that way. That's all. There is no.
I'm not able to get it. That's the reason. Yeah.
Okay. I will see that later. You can mail me the Krishnan. Jyoti Shanai. Krishnan.
Ram Guruji. This question I had asked before, but I listened to that Lalita Sahasranam of Vyoma recording. So I wanted to clarify. I had asked about that Dvitvam, remember?
Yes.
And you said it's a double letter, which when it comes. But I may have heard it wrong or not understood her. But I feel she said that when she refers to as Dvitvam, when there are 2 letters, consonants written one below the other, the second type of guna.
No. That is Samyukta. No, it is not Samyukta. It's not. What she refers is correct. There is a difference. Samyukta Akshara is there. Dvitva refers to doubling of the first letter of the Samyukta Akshara or the second letter of the Samyukta Akshara. Dvitva is a whole this thing by itself. We have some slides on that. Maybe if we have some time, some other time, half a class I will spend on Dvitva.
Okay.
For example, if there is just a word like there's a previous slide, that's why I skipped it. There's one slide on that, but it will take a lot of time. Let us say take the word only Vishnu Patni. Patni is there. So the word Patni, it's a Samyuktakshara. Tana is Samyuktakshara. Ta and na. But when you say Patni, you give a stress on the takara, which so it seems like there are two tas there and then followed by a na. It's like ta and then na. You don't say Patti. You say Patni. Patni. So the takara has an extra pause, which is called Dvitva.
Oh, okay. So in reality, there is no extra T, but we are giving the stress on it. That's why it's called.
And you can actually write it also. According to Vyakarana, you are allowed to write that extra T.
Okay.
That is also there, but we don't usually write it. And when we say Brahma, the Makara has that extra Ma. You don't say Brahma, you say Brahma.
Okay.
So that Makara has that extra. So
okay. Yeah, because that was bothering me. And how do we spell that Dvitvam in English? The right spelling of that?
Dvitva, the D-V-I-T-T-V-A.
Okay. D-V-I-T-T-E-A, is it?
V-A, Dvitva.
Okay. Thank you, Guruji.
Krishnan? Krishnan, you had something to say? Or S.R. Valluri?
There only one small doubt. I'm sorry, I'm taking time, but the thing is in Telugu we have A, O is there, but they're not there. They're not there in Sanskrit. They're not required, sir. Actually,
they're not required. They're not there because O is already Dirgha. First class we discussed that on Swaras.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Okay, then. Okay, they're not required and they're not there.
Yeah, they're not. No.
Okay, thank you.
Namaskaram, Guruji. Can you hear me?
Namaste. Yes.
Nya, you had talked about pronouncing it as Nya, and how do you pronounce Vigyan? Because I'm speaking, in Hindi we say Vigyan. And
everywhere, even this thing, for example, like government scheme like Kishore Vaigyanik Protsahan Yojana, they write as GYA. In English, you cannot write it. There is no way to write it.
But how do you pronounce it correctly?
That's why I clearly wrote it here and said Gya is wrong, Gna is wrong. So Kalkrishnan Mahodaya point out that in North India, pronounced it as Gya, which is wrong. There is no Ga, there is no Ya, there is no Na in that word. There is only Ja. It is Vijnyan. Yes.
Vijnyan. So that means in the Lalita Sahasranamam, the first line, Sri Mata, Sri Maharajni. Okay. Thank you. Dhanyavada.
Venkateshwaran Mahodaya.
Just a comment. See, regarding this splitting in the proper way, so that the meaning is not lost or meaning is totally different. So in order to avoid it, the long samasta padas, we have to split. One has to be, see, where control of breath also comes into play when you long samasta pada. So you have to split, but that splitting has to be properly done.
Correct. In samasta padas, we have to put hyphen, we have to put, or we have to just put a line if we are learning, and then there we have to split. Or else you should not split it in wrong places. Yes, it is difficult to hold breath sometimes, so we have to put the lines in the right places. Which is why while teaching, I split them in the right manner and teach you. I don't split somewhere in between the word. Only if it is sensible, the split is done while teaching. So if you want the pause, you have to put the line in your book. You can put a line with a pencil, so you can give a pause. If it is very difficult to control the breath.
The world people, it will be difficult, definitely.
Yes, it is. That's why you have to put a line. Venkata Krishnan, yes. Namaste.
In Tamil, there is alam, palam, la is there. In Sanskrit,
there is no ya. Tamil, like the word Tamil itself contains the ya, which is not there in Sanskrit.
Ram.
So last part we will see, and doubts on this we will take after the class. This is a off task. Everybody asks everywhere. They ask every class. Many people ask. Ha with other letters. Ha with na, and ma. All the three examples are given if you say. Vanhi is with tata dadhana. Grinhan is with tata dadhana. Brahma is with papa babhama. So all these three are, when we say it with hakara, first we say that letter and then we say hakara. Even though it is written as vahni, we say it as vanhi. Even though it is written as grihnan, we say it as grinhan. Even though we say it as written as brahma, we say it as brahma. This is only for these three letters, na, and ma. Only these three letters it is like this. Everywhere else it is like this. Why it is like this? It is because of tradition, Vedic pronunciation. Most this is how it is. That is how weird. So some people take the argument that in Vyakarana you should not say it like this. You have to say vahni, you have to say brahma, and so on. That is also not wrong. So if you say it as brahma or vahni, it is not a mistake. But Sampradaya, all our elders in Vedic pronunciation, Vedas have been coming from more than 5,000 years. This is how it has been pronounced. So Vanhindrachyuta mitrakan vidhuvidi. This is how I have taught it in all our Narayanam classes, wherever all these are examples from whatever we have learned. So this is how it has been taught. So we will stick to this pronunciation. Though both are right, traditionally this is how it pronounced all across India. This is how it is pronounced. There is no differentiation in this. Very few people currently, have started saying grihnan, brahma, and so on. But that is not how it has been traditionally given. So there are a lot of reasons. We have written this in Sanskrit so that it is already. I didn't want to translate this so that many people do not get doubts. The idea is it is there from 5,000 years. From childhood we have been hearing this only, and from everybody we see the same thing. It is a fact of language. That's all. It is there in the language. This is how it is. And by tradition, Vaidikaha, the normal Laukikaha, everybody is saying like this only. Vyakarana, they usually say from Shishtas. Our elders have taught, that is how it is. So we learnt like this from the elders. That is how we keep this. And words like Brahma and all not rare. So you can't say it's a rare usage or something like that. It's a very common usage. That's how it has come into use. So words like that are commonly there. Vanhi or Brahma are not rare. So you cannot say because it is rare, it has a special usage. It is there everywhere. That is how it is being used. It is a special exception. The rules, there should be exceptions. So these are exceptions that are there. That is all given. So that is the end of pronunciations. Any other doubts of pronunciation we'll take after learning a couple of shlokas. We shall move into our usual Narayaneeyam. After we are learning, going into 61st Dashakam. This is Yajvapatnyuddharanam. Beautiful episode where Krishna gives blessings to the Yajna Patnis. That episode is there in Vamshastha, 12 letters of Vamshastha, Rishita. There we shall start. Yes. Tatascha vrindavanatoti durataha. Tatascha vrindavanataha. Ati durataha. Vanangatastvam. Khalu. Gopagokulaihi. Hridantare. Bhaktatara. Dvijanganaha. Kadambaka. Anugrahana. Agraham vahan.
आग्रहं वहन् आग्रहं वहन्
ततश्च वृन्दावनतः
ततश्च वृन्दावनतः ततश्च वृन्दावनतः
अतिदूरतः
अतिदूरतः अतिदूरतः
वनं गतस्त्वं
वनं गतस्त्वं वनं गतस्त्वं
खलु गोपगोकुलैः
खलु गोपगोकुलैः खलु गोपगोकुलैः
हृदन्तरे
हृदन्तरे हृदन्तरे
भक्ततरद्विजाङ्गनाः
भक्ततरद्विजाङ्गनाः भक्ततरद्विजाङ्गनाः
कदम्बकानुग्रहण
कदम्बकानुग्रहण कदम्बकानुग्रहण
आग्रहं वहन्
आग्रहं वहन् आग्रहं वहन्
ततश्च वृन्दावनतोऽतिदूरतः
ततश्च वृन्दावनतोऽतिदूरतः ततश्च वृन्दावनतोऽतिदूरतः
वनं गतस्त्वं खलु गोपगोकुलैः
वनं गतस्त्वं खलु गोपगोकुलैः वनं गतस्त्वं खलु गोपगोकुलैः
हृदन्तरे भक्ततरद्विजाङ्गनाः
हृदन्तरे भक्ततरद्विजाङ्गनाः हृदन्तरे भक्ततरद्विजाङ्गनाः
कदम्बकानुग्रहणाग्रहं वहन्
कदम्बकानुग्रहणाग्रहं वहन् कदम्बकानुग्रहणाग्रहं वहन् ततश्च वृन्दावनतोऽतिदूरतः वनं गतस्त्वं खलु गोपगोकुलैः हृदन्तरे भक्ततरद्विजाङ्गनाः कदम्बकानुग्रहणाग्रहं वहन् ततश्च वृन्दावनतोऽतिदूरतः वनं गतस्त्वं खलु गोपगोकुलैः हृदन्तरे भक्ततरद्विजाङ्गनाः कदम्बकानुग्रहणाग्रहं वहन्
Good. Arjun, shloka 2. ततो निरीक्ष्य Arjun, I can't hear you or see you. Can you hear him, Rishita? No, you can't hear him. I can see you, but I can't hear you. No, I can see you saying Ram Ram, but I can't hear you. Okay, Rishita.
ततो निरीक्ष्य
अशरणे
अशरणे अशरणे
वनान्तरे
वनान्तरे वनान्तरे
किशोरलोकम्
किशोरलोकं किशोरलोकं
क्षुधितं
क्षुधितं क्षुधितं
Trishakulam.
त्रिशाकुलं त्रिशाकुलम्
Aduratah.
अदूरतः अदूरतः
Yajnaparan.
यज्ञपरान् यज्ञपरान्
Dvijan prati.
द्विजान् प्रति द्विजान् प्रति
Vyasarjayah.
व्यसर्जयः व्यसर्जयः
Didivi.
दीदिवि दीदिवि
Yachanayatan.
याचनायतान् याचनायतान्
Tato nirikshya.
ततो निरीक्ष्य
Asharane vanantare.
अशरणे वनान्तरे
Kishoralokam.
किशोरलोकम्
Kshudhitam trishakulam.
क्षुधितं त्रिशाकुलम्
Adurato yajnaparan.
अदूरतो यज्ञपरान्
Dvijan prati.
द्विजान् प्रति
Vyasarjayo didivi.
व्यसर्जयो दीदिवि And I can't hear you.
Yachanayatan.
याचनायतान्
Tato nirikshya sharane vanantare.
ततो निरीक्ष्य शरणे वनान्तरे
Kishoralokam kshudhitam trishakulam.
किशोरलोकं क्षुधितं त्रिशाकुलम्
Adurato yajnaparan dvijan prati.
अदूरतो यज्ञपरान् द्विजान् प्रति
Vyasarjayo didiviyachanayatan.
व्यसर्जयो दीदिवियाचनायतान् ततो निरीक्ष्य शरणे वनान्तरे किशोरलोकं क्षुधितं त्रिशाकुलम् अदूरतो यज्ञपरान् द्विजान् प्रति व्यसर्जयो दीदिवियाचनायतान् ततो निरीक्ष्य शरणे वनान्तरे किशोरलोकं क्षुधितं त्रिशाकुलम् अदूरतो यज्ञपरान् द्विजान् प्रति व्यसर्जयो दीदिवियाचनायतान्.
Arjun, let's finish with one more shloka today. 5 minutes extra will take here. We've seen a lot of pronunciation. I can't hear you, Arjun. I can see you saying Ram Ram. Something else, some audio is wrong with your. Okay. And since Arjun is not able to recite, we shall stop with 2 shlokas. We shall take the 3rd shloka in next class. Just a couple of announcements. From next class, the class will be on Zoom. This is important. So if you do not have the Zoom app, please download the Zoom app. We will be moving from GoToWebinar. We will be going to Zoom webinar, from the Zoom webinar or meeting, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. So have the Zoom app. The process for joining the class remains the same. You will have to go to the website and say, click join now. But instead of the GoToWebinar opening, Zoom webinar will open. Therefore, keep Zoom app. Most of you will have Zoom because you are attending many classes and Zoom is more popular. But still, just heads up that next class will be on Zoom, not on this. And another thing, I'm in Chennai now for this week. That is why I'm sweating all over. I've been wiping my eyebrows. The next week from tomorrow, Shankara Jayanti starts. So this week from Sunday to Friday, Shankara Jayanti Utsava. Vaishakha Shukla Panchami is Adi Shankaracharya's Jayanti Mahotsava, which is why I have come to Chennai, where we celebrate here at our grandfather's place in Mylapore. So all of you are invited, whoever is in Chennai, whoever might come to Chennai, all of you are welcome home to watch the Utsava. There will be Chaturveda Parayana, 4 Vedas along with many Shakhas. So more than 7-8 Vedas will be happening Parayana all across the house, along with Shankara Bhashya and many other Granthas, both in the morning and evening. After lunch also, after 3 o'clock again Parayana will happen. So this invitation has only the upanyasas, the lectures that are going to happen in the evening has been detailed in this invitation, and invitation is Tamil, so only some of you might understand the invitation, and it may be very small to look at also. Which our home is near, so if you want to attend, please mail me. I can send you the address and location. So starting Sunday till Friday. Friday is the Utsava. Evening there will be a Urvalam also. So every day morning Rudra Abhishekam, Ekadashava Rudra Abhishekam along with Abhisheka to Shankara will be there. Evening Trishati will be there. So it is a huge Utsava over the next 6 days. So do come. Even if you're not able to come on the Shankara Jayanti day at your own places on Friday, please do Sahasrana, Shatanama Archana, or Shankara Stotras you can read over the next 5 days. Whatever you know of Adi Shankaracharya, these are the next 5 days to be devoted to him. It is also Ramanujacharya Jayanti, so those who are Sri Vaishnavas, please read Ramanuja's Granthas, Vedanta Granthas and so on. Read the Sri Bhashya if you have been taught those Granthas. This is a time to remember our Gurus, look at these Granthas, the way they have resurrected the Sanatana Dharma. So this is a time to remember those things. So you are all invited here home. You can either message me or mail me, and so that is announcement. There might be a Narayaneeyam Parayanam also, which is not decided. If it is there, I will tell you. Ram 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 Sarvebhya. If any other doubts are there, we can take. If anybody has raised hands, anything else to talk about, we can raise your hands. I will take questions now. Any comments here? There'll be okay. Okay. One by one. Yes, Jyoti Shanai. Yes.
Ram Ram Guruji. Regarding that Buddhir Balam Yashodhairyam, I try to pronounce it. Now, if you pronounce it wrongly, like, you ask for disease. So the way I would pronounce it is just check it out. Buddhir Balam Yashodhairyam Nirbhayatvam Arogata. So is that correct?
Yeah, that is fine. Nirbhayatvam Arogata is fine. You just, if you always pronounce it without stopping, it is the best. If you have some new tunes, that is when it makes a difference. It's okay. These shlokas, it is fine.
Yeah, but then when you, I can pronounce it without pausing, but that ma comes with the rogat, right? It joins with that.
Nirbhayatvam Arogata. If you want to say it split, you can split. You can stop, split, and say Nirbhayatvam Arogata. You can say.
And then how does it do for Padmanabham Maraprabhu?
Padmanabho Maraprabhu. So you have to say it together without any pause in between. You have to say Padmanabho Maraprabhu.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Guruji.
ENE dot. And then
Namaste.
Namaste.
I wanted to ask you about the tunes for the shlokas or the ragas. Are they according to the chandas or to the syllables? Because usually there is
somewhat related to chandas. Each chandas has a unique raga. Also, these ragas are not somewhat fixed, or they are not permanent. You can put any tune that suits you. If you see the Parayanam or memorization test, some of them tell in slightly different ragas. So traditionally, for our elders have taught these chandas with some particular tunes. So some of the chandas like Vasanta Tilaka and all, they are more prevalent. So they have many tunes. They have multiple tunes they could be recited in. So I might recite in one tune, somebody else might recite in a different tune. So it is not wrong. Both, it just has to be nice to hear, and also if you have a tune, it is easy to memorize or easy to read. So you have that flow. So chandas is that if you have that tune, you know the long and short syllables, they come neatly. So you just have to stick to one tune, and as you go forward, you yourself will know. Sometimes you yourself might change between tunes if you know 2-3 tunes. It happens a lot during Parayanam when we read the whole thing together. It happens a lot that we change in between according to our mood or the mood of the verse and so on. So tunes are just for us to keep.
Yeah, I've seen that you have changed the tunes a few times, and I think sometimes I may forget them.
Yeah, so that's okay. There is nothing wrong. If you forget the tune also, there is nothing wrong. The pronunciation is more important than the tune. The bhava, your devotion, is more important than the tune. As you keep reading, the tune will automatically come.
Yes. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. Ashish and then Kalyani.
Ram Ram Guruji.
Yeah, namaste. Yes.
Namaste. How to pronounce the word which is starting from half sakara, like sthiti? So is E added before sakara or
no,
what?
that is another thing in Hindi that we didn't add. Maybe we should add it in the next pronunciation class of your uses. That is very wrong pronunciation. There is no ikara there. It is just three. That's all. There is no istri. That happens in English words also in the north of India. I think in UP, Bihar, and school, history, and so on. There is no ikara there.
So how to pronounce these words? Huh? How to pronounce these words?
Just tra. If you had something starting with sa, just the sa, you would say sa, right? And then you just say stri. Only stri. That's all.
Three.
Stoka. Three. Stoma.
Stoma.
Stambha.
Stambha. Stambha. But it is E is coming before sakara.
There is no E. There is no E. You just start. Stambha. That's all.
Stambha.
Stambha. Due to your practice and you have kept hearing it, as I've said, then it might also, you might start thinking, hallucinating that there's an E. There is no E. And when you say it, it easily comes. Just the practice that we start adding.
Okay. Thank you.
In Hindi, I do not know why it comes, because Hindi is, you don't need the ikara before. Only in Tamil, there is one rule where for rakara, there is an E added before. That's also there in the grammar of Tamil, and we put it. But otherwise, this is a very unusual pronunciation which I have heard in North India. Good you asked, there is no E there.
Okay, thank you.
Kalyani and then Srilata.
Ram Guruji, actually I don't have any doubt, but you have displayed one invitation on the screen. It's very blurred. If I send out a mail to you requesting for the same, could you please forward it?
I will send this invitation.
And last time when I've been to Chennai, I missed the opportunity, but this time I don't want to miss it. I would like to come and meet our great Guruji in person and offer my pranams to our Guruji in person. So I will ascertain your convenient time, and surely I would like to meet you.
Morning 6 to night 10 is convenient. Anytime you can come.
Okay, Guruji. Dhanya. Thank you very much. I'm very blessed.
Ram. Srilata.
Namaskaram, Mahodaya. What is the chandas for today's 61 chapter?
Vamshastha. We've already seen this in a couple. I don't remember which dashakam, but Vamshastha 12 letters we have seen it before.
Okay. And another question is that Zoom link, are we going to receive in our mailbox, or
No, same. The process of joining is exactly same. You come to the website, click on the join now button and say join.
So no need to have the code or anything?
No code, nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that also the code might keep changing. I'm not sure, but it might be same or it might be changing. But you don't need code. You come to the website, click on the join now button and join.
Okay. Thank you. Namaskaram.
राम 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 सर्वेभ्यः शुभरात्रिः अग्रिमसप्ताहान्ते शनिवासरे पुनः द्रक्ष्यामः. We will meet again next Saturday. नारायण अखिल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते.